Hi tribe, welcome to yet another episode of Small Steps to Freedom. If this is your very first time here seeing this space on this channel, then thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Tando and I talk about all things personal finance that will help you take control of your money. So if you are trying to pay off debt, start investing, start saving, increase your income, reach financial freedom, build generational wealth, anything to do with your personal finances, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because we have content for you every single week that will help you do exactly that, right? So with that out of the way, let's actually get into today's video. So in today's video, I want to step back a little bit and take you back to the basics and talk about your gross and net income, right? So what is the difference between the two and how does it actually impact your personal finances? Now I know some of you may be looking at me like, Tando, we already know what gross income is. We already know what net income is. How is this useful? Give me a chance, let me explain. So when you understand the difference between your gross and your net income, it really will impact just the amount of income you're able to make and how much money of your money you're able to keep strategically. So I want to talk about those differences in what areas they can actually help you with your personal finances. So let's start with some basic definitions. Let's talk about your gross income. So when you talk about your gross income, this is the amount of money that you make before any deductions are made. So before sales tax is cut, before the company makes any RA contributions, medical contributions, and so on, right? And then when you talk about your net income, this is the money that you get after all those deductions have been made. That is literally the money that hits your account each month. So why is it actually important to understand the difference between the two? So the very first reason is the fact that it will really help you in terms of actually making sure that you get the salary that you are looking for, right? And this goes back to the salary negotiation stage, right? So while you're looking for a job and you are actually on the cusp or are about to actually be offered that job, you might actually start salary negotiations with said company, right? And in those salary negotiations, you will be asked how much you expect to earn for that role that you are about to take on, and that is a very big question, right? And one thing you really need to understand in that conversation is that the employer is actually talking about it in terms of cost to company, how much that company is going to cost that company to have you on board. And then when you are actually on the other side of the table, chances are you are thinking about how much money is actually going to hit your bank account. So you are thinking in terms of net income, right? So you can see the different mindsets between the two. So when you walk into that salary negotiation with the understanding of what the difference between gross and net income is, it will help you to actually frame the conversation better, right? So instead of actually asking for the amount that you want to hit your account each month, that is your net income, you can actually start to ask for what the gross income would be in order for you to get the net income that you're looking for. So for example, if you want to earn 20,000 rands a month, instead of asking for just that 20,000 rands a month, you'd ask for 25,000 rands because that would actually take into account tax, for example, because you'd have to pay between 4,000 and 5,000 rands a month in taxes to SARS on that salary in order to get 20,000 rands hitting your bank account each month. That is the one thing that understanding gross and net income will really help you with, is actually understanding how to actually get into the salary negotiation and ask for the salary that you are actually looking for, so you get the money that you want hitting your bank account each month instead of being hit by a surprise at the end of the month and being like, oh, it's not actually a whole 20,000 rand, I'm only getting 18,000 rands because there's this and that deduction, right? So you don't want it to hit you as a surprise. You want to make sure you're able to actually put that as an allowance when you go into your salary negotiations. And a tip here, if you are going into salary negotiations, is to actually ask for a dummy payslip, because that dummy payslip will actually give you a very clear idea of what deductions you can expect to be made on your salary before that money hits your account. It will give you a clearer picture in terms of what to expect on your payslip each month once you're actually in that grow. And the second reason why it's so important to understand the difference between gross and net income is when it comes to your taxes, right? So you might find that you're actually in a bit of a higher tax bracket where you are paying more tax than you'd like, and you'd like to maybe save on your tax and reduce your tax bill, right? So now, if you understand the difference between gross and net income, with the net income in mind, you can actually start strategizing ways to actually reduce that tax bill. So you can consider things like investing in a retirement annuity where you're allowed to invest 27.5% or 350,000 rands each year, whichever comes first, to actually reduce your taxes. And how this actually reduces your tax bill is that when you contribute to your retirement annuity, depending on how much you contribute, you will get a tax rebate at the end of the tax year. So if you're trying to determine just how much you get, you then have to actually take the amount that you'll be contributing and multiply that by the marginal tax percentage, right? And that will give you just the amount of or the tax rebate that you expect from having contributed to your retirement annuity. So those are the reasons why it's so important to understand the difference between your gross and your net income. That will ultimately help you to actually reach your financial goals. But that is it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. If you found it helpful, please be sure to smash the like button. It turns blue and makes my day. It's amazing. Thank you so much. And until I see you next week, goodbye.